All right, guys. On today's The King Closer Reacts, we're going to be checking out Elijah Rubin, three-time contestant in the Closers Olympics, most notably finishing second in the original, the 2020 Closers Olympics. This is off of his YouTube channel. He went live for quite a while. We're picking it up an hour and 46 minutes in. I haven't seen any of this call. This call was actually given to me by my team. Said it was a pretty decent call, so I'm looking forward to this. See what Mr. Rubin's got cooking here on this call.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, Rashawn?
Hey, what's going on?
Rashawn, this is Elijah here. You filled out a form online a couple days ago with regards to selling your property in New York.
Oh, yep.
You still looking to sell this one?
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
So first things I want to point out about Elijah is he's a master at building rapport with sellers, and you almost see it with his introduction right there. You know, hey, how you doing? It was hilarious because the seller's even like, hey, how you doing? You know, immediately he just has that ability, that voice, the tonality, everything that he does there, you know, immediately builds that rapport. I will take note, as you see streaming down there at the bottom, he's got the go to closersolympics.com for the tickets. So this is actually him live right before the 2023 Closers Olympics. And it sounds like he's talking about you filled out a form. So I'm assuming this is either a lead solo or a speed to lead. So an inbound PPL lead that he had here. So this is him getting those reps for the Closers Olympics. So let's pick it up, see where he takes it. You know, hey, he's hit the validation of, hey, you want to sell the property, right? Yep, I want to sell the property still. So loving where we are so far, even though we're just very early on. Sometimes, you know, you could stumble out of the blocks. He's done a really good job here of already kind of where he's at in this call.
Perfecto. You're home, or what did I catch you doing over there? What did I catch you doing? Gotcha. Okay. Well, Rashawn, I want to be super clear and upfront about it. I am a real estate investor. So we don't pay retail for properties. At the same time, I'm super realistic. I don't expect you just to give away the property. If we could get a number that works for you, works for me, great, we move forward. If not, we simply part as friends, okay?
So I've heard Elijah use this line for a while now. It's a very unique strategy to kind of hit it right out of the gates by saying, hey, I'm a real estate investor. And then, of course, he's got his little line there. If we can come to an agreement, we can do a deal. If not, we'll part as friends. I'd like to talk to Elijah about it and understand more of his thought process behind it. It's a weird way to establish a phone call. I would assume he has reasoning behind it. I don't quite understand it just because it's not what I do. So, of course, I'm not going to try to understand and put words or thoughts into Elijah's mind here. Elijah is known to be a good closer, so I'm sure there's a reasoning behind it. It's just a very unique strategy, in my opinion, to start off where it's like, hey, I want to buy your house at a discount. That's what I hear, right? I need you to sell your house at a discount. And if we can't agree, then we'll just part as friends. Unique strategy. I don't see very many people use it either.
Okay.
And so tell me, what's going on with this property?
Well, I basically have a fire damage property. That's the reason why I'm trying to get rid of it.
It's fire damage?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's my specialty. Would you believe that? You're talking to the leading fire damage expert in the country. Wow. Okay. Good for you, my friend. Laws of attraction brought me to you. All right, continue. Tell me about
Good for you. Good for you that you have a fire damage property. This is a unique situation for Elijah. He is the fire damage king. So this is a great lead for him to come across to see if he's going to be able to kind of navigate all the different ways that he could get paid on this type of a lead. So a cool one for us to break down here on the Key Closer Reacts. Again, Elijah has a very unique personality. Even like right there, asking, well, what do you got going on with this property? Kind of pushed him in the direction of talking about like, you know, condition is what I think majority of people are probably going to jump into. And then that's where we're at the fire damage part. So this should be an interesting conversation. You can almost see the joy in Elijah's eyes right there.
Got it.
Well, the fire department said I think it's around roughly 40% or 45% damage. It's a 3-family triplex, 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, basement. The roofing is about 3 years old. The 2,300 square feet. Pretty much everything was up to date until the fire. I just don't. It's a good house, strong and solid house. I just don't have the time or patience to renovate it at the moment. So that's why I'm trying to get rid of it.
Got it.
So I love seeing Elijah taking a lot of action there. You see, he's analyzing the deal. He's looking around. He's looking at comps. You hear the clicks on the mouse. A lot of actions there. I love seeing closers when they can analyze the deals right there. And I hope he utilizes that later on when we get into the negotiation phase and we start talking about numbers and stuff like that. The fact that he is an expert on this, right? He's the fire damage king. He's looking at the numbers. He's analyzing the deal. I hope he sticks in that pocket and really leverages that later on in the conversation.
How long ago did you get it? Did you pick it up?
I've been having it roughly almost 2 years now.
All right, you passed capital gains at least, right?
Yeah.
All right, and so you had it for a couple years, and did you buy it this way, or did it end up catching fire once you bought it?
No, I bought it. Oh yeah, I ended up catching fire after I bought it. But I bought it at around it was valued around 60 when I bought it. The work that I put into it jumped up to about 118. Then this fire, so
frustrating, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as the property, it says it's under Wesley Sherwood. Is that you?
No. I'm Ray Sean Thompson. I guess they didn't up to date it yet.
Really? Because a couple years later, you'd think they would have that done by, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't. I get it.
So I like him validating that, hey, I'm talking to the owner, right? And he is right. Sometimes the records don't get updated, or maybe if he's looking on like a prop stream or a batch or something like that, it's just not updated on their side. One thing that I've always noticed about Elijah is, and like a small little critique that I would have for him, is sometimes he gets a little bit lazy with his responses to people because he might be thinking about something. And I think this is something that everybody struggles with a little bit, right? You're busy looking at comps, you're looking at who the owner is and what the mortgage balance is and all of these different things. And the seller tells you something, and like right there, he was kind of like, yeah, it's tough. It was just I didn't hear the empathy as much as probably was needed, right? The seller basically told you, he bought a property for 60. He put money into it. The value bumped up to 118. And then it caught fire, Maybe a little bit more attention to detail right there in that moment. Now, mind you, he's approaching the 2-hour mark of being live. and talking to sellers. So it's easy to kind of, this is why I always talk about like sprint sessions. When you're on the phone, like I go for 2 hours and then I'm going to decompress. So I never have a moment where what could be a life-changing conversation for a seller, we're not fully engaged. That would probably be a better way to say it. I didn't feel like Elijah's response there was fully engaged. Small little critique, just a little bit more energy, a little bit better tonality is like what I would want to see there. But overall, love the questions that he's asked so far. A lot of validation. You want to sell, you're the owner. How long have you owned it? Okay, it's fire damage. And then he's also done a pretty good job of letting the seller just kind of explain the situation so far.
But so you sure you own it? You sure you own it? You like, I've been paying money on this damn thing.
100%.
Okay, we can figure that out later. All right. So
I actually have see that's 17 William Street. I have a lot that's right next to it, which is 19 William Street.
19 William Street.
I'm willing to make a bundle package deal if that's the case.
Okay, so you sell both of those.
Yeah.
Man, okay. Because these both, I see the other one there, but they're both on the Wesley. That's great.
Yeah, no, I own both.
Okay. All right, and so if we were able to get something worked out for you, I mean, what do you think you wanted for these both?
Good. Give or take, probably like 50.
The 50,000 for both of them?
Yeah.
Ouch. What do you think the house would be worth once it's fixed back up?
So I like the question they just asked, but what I liked even more is when he said the 50,000, ouch. Would have preferred to see him just kind of sit for a second there and almost hear what the seller has to say back to the silence, to the pain in Elijah. I mean, look at the pain on Elijah's face there. I mean, I think it might be real. Of course, I don't know what the after repair value is. I don't know any of the numbers right now. So 50,000 might be a banger of a deal, but it doesn't sound like it. So I would have preferred to see Elijah sit there for a second. But I do like the question. What do you think the house is going to be worth when it's fixed up? But maybe just 1, 2, 3 more seconds of silence would have been preferable there.
If it's fixed back up, get everything up to date how it's supposed to be. The house probably be worth almost close to about that's from the little bit of work that I put into it. But I put a lot, but it wasn't nothing. So I ain't see its full potential. So I could say that house probably jump up to about almost probably like 185, 200,000 in my range over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good popular area. You got the.
Okay, I always get asked, what open-ended question should I ask, RJ? That was a great open-ended question right there. And it's such a subtle little nuance. How much do you think the house would be worth if it was fixed back up? 185, 200 range? Yeah. Just a one word and the way that he said it. Yeah. Almost it was inquisitive. Like, you sure? It's kind of what he said. You sure? And so because he did that, now the seller is going to open up and explain where he's coming up with 185, 200. It's a good area, and then he's going to go on. I love that moment right there.
It's in walking distance. You got the grocery store. This prime location, great location. Honestly, that's why I guess the house is over here that much. But
so he's guessing.
Do you see it on Zillow? Zillow's giving it 125.
Yeah. I seen one on Broadway on Broad Ave that sold for like about.
So Elijah now brings, hey, well, Zillow's saying 125. This guy's saying it's a good area. It's got a grocery store and some other stuff. He's like, hey, you're going to have to prove this to me. Okay, I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing 125 online. And now the seller is now saying, well, I saw this house on this street. Love this moment right here by Elijah where he's really trying to pull information out of the seller. And quite frankly, it seems like the numbers are off to him. So to me, this is where in the 4 buckets of sellers, where this seller would fall is highly motivated, wrong price. And Elijah's kind of working through the education of the seller right now. So really like how he's navigating this part of the conversation.
108 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Close to 10, but that was a 4 family. This is that was a 4-bedroom. This is a 5.
Right. This is more bedrooms.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just finish this one yourself? I mean, you already own it. Why not just finish it?
I don't have time for it right now, so we just transition, trying to do something different.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you have pictures of the inside?
Negotiable though.
Okay. Do you own it free and clear?
Yes, sir. No taxes, no nothing on it.
Good for you. So, do you have pictures of the inside?
Yes, I do.
Is it completely torched inside, or is it part of it salvageable?
No, it's salvageable. If anything, it was smoke. It was mainly smoke damage more than anything.
So, tell me about the fire.
Well, the fire department did more damage.
Right. They always do. They busted open the window, the roof.
Yeah, they didn't have to do none of that stuff because it's like the back of between. It's they have a back stairwell like enclosed, so the fire is between the first floor and the second floor stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
But they came in and just didn't make any sense to me.
Got it. So was it just a partial fire?
Yeah, well, it hit the back between the first and the second floor. Damage the staircase towards the basement.
I'm a little bit surprised that he's asking this many questions about the fire, and he has not brought up yet anything about an insurance claim. Because I know that's part of like Elijah's thing with fire damage properties is talking, about the insurance claim, potentially doing an assignment of benefits and things like that. He hasn't brought up insurance claim whatsoever yet in the conversation. So it's a little bit interesting and surprising.
Gotcha. And how much do you think it's going to cost to put it all back together again? You think?
All together, back together. I could say in the range between about 30 to maybe 50,000 the max.
30 to 50,000. That's a big difference, right? Specifically, if we're talking about we're buying this for 50. I mean, are we all in 80 or are we all in 100? That's a big difference. And another good, not to harp on this, but this would be another reason why I would want to ask about the insurance claim, because we could specifically ask, well, if you filed an insurance claim, then you have an estimate from the insurance company that would tell you exactly how much the insurance claim it wrote up in damages. Now, a lot of times the insurance company doesn't write up to the correct amount, but at least you would have a number to base your repairs off of.
30 to 50,000, you thinking?
Yeah, 50 is probably the max though. Everything is all fine, with the max.
Right. I think it's gonna be a little bit more because when you do a fires, I mean, I still want to see the pictures. You still want to see the pictures so I can take a look at it. But I mean, I've been doing this for 19 years. I started when I was 21.
I'm just giving
Sure,
I don't know. So I'm just, it might be more.
Sure.
Be,
Sure. So, how on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being like, nah, I don't really want to sell this property. I'll keep it and do it. I don't care if it takes me 3 more years. I'll keep this property. To 10, like, no, I need to sell this property. I don't want this property anymore. Where would you say you're at right now?
Honestly speaking,
6.
I'm probably around like an 8.
8.
Don't want to sell it. But I just got so much going on right now. I just figured, part ways with it while it's still like it is. Then, hopefully someone else will give us some tender loving care.
Okay. So, because what I'm thinking is that it's probably going to have to be, it's probably have to be less. All right. So I have 2 different ways we could do this. Okay. Just because I understand what it takes when you deal with the fire, it's not like a regular house, unfortunately. We can just go in there, rip up the carpets or fix the staircase. Once it's fire, you have to get what's called a CFO, a certificate of occupancy, before you get in there. And so everybody's going to be like on our bags. We can't really kind of slide anything in. Everything has to kind of go through the process.
Up the code.
Right. You have to do up the code. You have to do the right way. I can't bring in none of the, my friends and family members to do the work. I have to get it done right. So it's more time, more cost and effort. And then I have to get permitted. So realistically, we would probably be close to about $20,000, between $15,000 to $20,000 for the property cash and the lot. I want the lot with it, so that if I do have to bulldoze them both down, I'll build something bigger. Assuming I could salvage it, I'm offering the 15,000-20,000, assuming I could salvage it. How does that make you feel?
Well, someone actually yesterday that I was speaking to was offering me 35 for it.
Really? Why didn't you take it?
Like I said, everything negotiable. So
I love that response, and I love giving that response every time. Good moment there. He did kind of anchor price the seller, with the 15 to 20,000. But I love right there when the seller says, I talked to someone yesterday, they offered me 35,000. Why didn't you take it? That's always my question. It's like, I don't understand. Well, that's a lot higher than what I could offer you. So love that question right there.
Hey, the highest number.
For sure. Listen, but just be wary. For people who don't know what they're doing, they're gonna say whatever number you want to hear.
Yeah.
All right.
That's why I figured, shop around before I just, super jump on it and I cut myself short.
Sure.
If I could sell it for 50 and I just sold the guy for 35, I'm missing $15,000.
Sure. I mean, if you could get someone to pay you 50, God bless you. If he paid you 30,000, take it, run, take it. And this
was adamant on. Actually, he had sent me the email for me to sign it because he's trying to close it out within 30 days.
Yeah,
so I just told him that I get back to him.
See what happens when somebody is kind of sending you a contract, and they may want to just try to find a buyer. They're not the real buyer, so they sign a contract with you, and they're going to wholesale the property and try to shop and find a buyer. And if they can't find a buyer, guess what they do? They just cancel the contract, waste all your time, and now you're stuck with the property.
Yeah.
So I'm just giving you the real deal. Like, I'm like somebody who, like myself, who knows the numbers, knows what's happening. I'm just trying to give you the real deal, just so you're not wasting your time. Your time is valuable. My time's valuable. I just want to kind of give you, wish upon a star number, and that doesn't happen. And then we waste a bunch of time, and I just give you the property back.
Yeah.
So, are you ready to move forward with me, or do you want to kind of see if these are serious? Waste a little bit of time.
So a couple of things here to unpack. I'm curious to see how the seller is going to respond to him kind of pressuring there. The first time Elijah's really applied pressure. I do like the explanation of what the other wholesaler is trying to accomplish. The only concern that I have when you do that is if that's also what you are doing. How are you separating yourself from being in the exact same shoes? I think he did that with his explanation. I think what Elijah would explain is well, what I explain is I do know the numbers because I'm a fire damage expert. And so that's why I'm saying, they're going to try to get a buyer at this number, but because I know the numbers, this is where it really needs to be. And then that's where he's saying, all right, well, with that being said, you ready to move forward with me? Very strong posture by Elijah here. A rather aggressive move, in my opinion, where he's like, so you ready to move forward? It actually kind of I like it. It's not that I don't like it. It just surprises me because when I've seen Elijah previously in Closers Olympics, I didn't necessarily see him be this aggressive. So I actually kind of like this a little bit where he's being efficient with his time. He's like, listen, I know this is where I need to be. If we're going to be playing games and you're not willing to play, then I'm going to move on. So I do like this moment.
Well, I got to definitely see on what they're exactly talking about because you talking 20, they talk about 35. So
you want to see if that's real first?
Yeah, gotta.
But I mean, you don't have to. You can say, Elijah, I know you're the real deal. You know what you're talking about.
I'm not trying to show myself.
I hear you. But there's a penalty for procrastinating, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's better to carry one bird in hand than two birds in the bush, and you don't catch any of them.
Yeah, like the famous saying, "Go greed makes you poor."
Yep, exactly. And you have somebody who knows what they're doing. I'm definitely giving you more. I'm giving you more than what you need. Obviously, less than what you want. But I'm your guaranteed. I'm the more guaranteed type of offer. Are you looking for a guaranteed offer, or do you just want somebody to say a number that makes you feel good?
No, I'm looking for a guaranteed offer.
So then, what's up? Do you want me to send you the contract?
But that's a guaranteed 20,000. With the other guy to be like he said, look, he said a guaranteed 35, and he tipped me the what's his name. But I told him, hold on, I don't want to just. I gotta read over. Gotta read the fine print.
Gotcha. So what do you want to have happen next? You want to kind of check him out and see if that goes through?
Yeah, I talk to him tomorrow. See what he's talking about. If you bullshit, I'll call you.
Right. All right. However, if you don't call me back this week, right? I'm always down to take your call, Rashawn. I know you're a good guy. You're just trying to do what you can do, right? But there is a penalty for procrastinating, right? So you call me. That number is gonna be 15,000 next time, right? So I'll honor the $20,000 this week for you. Okay.
I just paid $22,000 in back taxes.
Ouch! Don't lose good money after bad money. Don't spend any more money on this property.
Hold on. Did he say back taxes? I thought he said earlier in the conversation there was no taxes. The volume of the seller got super low there. So and that's on the original videos in. So I apologize about that. But I could have sworn earlier in the conversation he said I own it free and clear, taxes are paid up. Now all of a sudden I think he said back taxes. Interesting kind of, again, the stories of sellers come out, the more questions you ask, the further along the conversation you go, the truth eventually comes out.
All right. Let's get your money back and let's get this chapter behind you.
I'm trying to get it back.
So I mean, is there a definite number? If I could be a little flexible, that you'll be ready to move forward today?
30.
You have 35. Why would you take 30?
Well, shit, I'm re-talking.
If I would get my money partner to agree to do 25 with you for both of them, would you?
I got my next door neighbor that's willing to do 25 right now as we.
Aha! You see, my number, but see, my numbers are real.
My next door neighbor been willing to do 25 since a year ago.
Got it. And so if I give you 26, that'll make the difference.
30, that would definitely make the difference.
Oh man.
But like you said, look, I'm giving you two listens. The other lot is, listen, I keep that property up to groom. There's nothing going on up there. I mean,
how did you get $22,000 worth of How did they get $22,000 worth of back taxes on it?
Well, I inherited it from Mr. Sherwood. So I got into an installment agreement with the county. Then I ended up missing one payment, which defaulted on the installment agreement.
It all came back to you.
Yeah, then I had to pay it all off.
Okay. And when you said inherited from Wesley,
I mean, not inherited, but inherited the back taxes.
I gotcha. So
taxes don't go nowhere.
So you bought. So is that who you bought it from? You bought it from Mr. Sherwood?
Yes, sir.
Got it. Okay. So you bought it from him, and you did an installment agreement with him when you bought it from him?
No, I did the installment agreement with the county.
Oh, for the county for the back tax and everything.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So the fear here is not only is it fire damage, not only is there back taxes, but there might be title issues with how this deed was transferred. I'm wondering if this is a quitclaim deed. So this is where I would be immediately on PropStream, and I would be searching to see how was the deed transferred. Well, he couldn't even find it earlier. Remember, it was still saying it was in that original cell. Now that's coming back. And it is a problem, in my opinion. Because even if he can get them to agree somewhere between 26 and 30, which is sounding like where we're going to end up being, there could be title issues with this as well.
If he did 30,000, so this is what I'll do. Okay, I'll do 27,000, and I cover all the closing costs, or you do 30,000, you cover all the closing costs.
What's the closing cost? Whatever.
I mean, those are usually roughly about 2,500 to 3,000.
Well, it's a big number there because it's also going to be New York. This is an attorney state. There's probably going to be multiple attorneys involved. Typically, if this is a wholesale transaction, your buyer's going to want to be represented. The seller's going to be represented. And so the closing costs could be pretty extensive there, even on a low price property like this. I like the tactic there, 27 or 30. But ultimately, it's basically the same number. But he would honestly, I think he would prefer. I'd probably prefer to have the 30 and have the seller cover the closing costs than the 27 and I cover the closing costs, because the closing costs could essentially be negotiable there based off of whose attorneys are working. Now that could get weird though, having the seller cover the buyer's attorney. I don't know. These are all weird little nuances when it comes to different locations and when you're wholesaling.
Oh, that just jumped back. We can do 30,000 flat. Take it and leave it. I got the deed right in the state. Y'all can take care however y'all want to take care of it. Just give me 30. I can do whatever with it.
Man, we're close, man. I don't think I want to get. I don't think you're ready to go there.
You can do 30.
I'm not doing 30 because I could do 30, but then you have to pay the closing costs. I can't do 30 plus the closing costs. So I'll do 27, and then I'll cover the closing costs because then I'll be at 30 net. Or you do 30,000. I mean, I'll pay 30, and then you pay the closing costs.
And you said what the closing costs might not
say? 2,500 to $3,000 on average. I mean, give or take.
Well, I mean, about 27. That sounds negotiable. That sounds good. 30, and I'll take care of the closing costs.
30,000, you cover all the closing costs for both lots, or I pay 27,000, I cover all the closing costs.
Yeah, just about the same, right? Yeah, I do the 30 with the closing costs.
So 30,000, you pay all closing costs, and for both properties.
Yes, sir.
I think he made that decision just because it feels better for him, to be honest with you. But I really like how Elijah navigated that part there. Really solid on how he kind of broke it down and then also stood firm with it, right? So often we want a waiver. He did come up pretty high on his numbers there, but he's also getting that extra lot too. So I do like that.
And you able to send me the pictures so I can see all the pictures?
I will send you everything.
All right, so yeah, let me see the pictures. Like I said, I feel good at that number. Obviously, I think like I say, if you cover all the closing costs, that card gets us all covered. So
because I thought you got to do the title search.
Yeah, we have to go. Yeah, exactly. So what would happen? We pay
Maybe
$30,000 for both properties. We'll go through a title company. We'll use our title company. We'll obviously get you investor discount and pricing on the property. Like I said, we'll close escrow. See, in New York, it takes a little bit longer for. I don't know why it takes so much longer than it does back out west. But you know, the title research takes about 2 to 3 weeks. Unfortunately, to get the title search back. So would have put close the escrow for 6 weeks on or before. Okay, so if it happens sooner, then great, we'll do it sooner. But I like to under promise and over deliver in everything I do.
Honestly speaking, if we could probably, I need, because the reason why I'm even doing this, because like I told you, I'm in a very expeditious state right now.
Okay. You need, so it's not me. I just want to make sure you're clear. It's not me closing the property.
No, so if any way that you could probably expedite it within 30 days, that'd be
for sure. If I can get it closed in 2 weeks, I will. I just like to under promise you, because if I close in 6 weeks and I did what I said I'm going to do, you're going to be okay with me. If I do it after that time, you're going to be mad at me. If I do it before that time, you're going to love me.
Yeah.
All right. So I like to, it's all about setting the right expectations up front, right?
All about you setting the expectation.
I'm just trying to get things done because I have, I'm trying to get things done before, like, just a little before August or just,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that'll be the ideal. But like I said, I like to under promise. Worst case scenario. So just that, hey, this is the time frame we're working with. If things can happen soon, like I said, that's not even a question. I get it done sooner for us. Okay. So what we're talking about. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're saying we're going to have this closed escrow on or before August 15th. Okay. It's like I said, if I could get it done in a couple weeks out, we will. And I want to need your support because I'm going to need those reports on when the fire happened, everything I could do. Was there any insurance on the property at the time of the fire?
There it is.
Yes, right now. Actually, the last stages were my insurance company, so just waiting.
Are they paying out any insurance money?
Well, yeah, because it was intentional. Because I had a sex offender that was living on the second floor, so they had to do the fire investigation and things like that. So they was looking at everybody. I guess they need to look at the owner as well.
Oh, so there's arson. So the owners they're looking into for arson.
Yeah, definitely was arson because I had he wasn't a registered sex offender that was living on the second floor. They burnt him out. Yeah, vandalized property and beat him up.
Wow.
Wow, what an interesting turn of events. That's why I kind of wish that question had been a lot earlier in the conversation. I mean, we negotiate the price, we come to an agreement, and then we bring up the insurance. Unique strategy there by Elijah. I wish he would have brought it up before. Now we're finding out that there was a registered sex offender, and now there's an investigation into arson. Which almost kind of is like, does he even have the ability or the right to sell the property right now with that investigation going on? That would be one of my next questions.
Okay. And so how did you end up with this property?
I know Mr. Sherwood of 2 years, so you got to know that he was at basically some financial need of losing the property because of the back taxes, and I just came along and scoped up the property.
I thought he bought it before the fire, though. And this guy kind of flip-flopping on his story a little bit. It is a little bit difficult to hear, though, so maybe I misunderstood some things.
Hey, okay, I see you swooping up deals. What other deals you swooped up over there? What other deals you got for me?
Well, shit, I would probably have some land, some acreage actually in Owego.
Really?
Yeah, about 170.
170 acres? And
Yeah.
what do you think it's worth?
That's what the number that I'm trying to figure out now.
Gotcha. Hold on 1 second for me, okay? Hold on 1 second for me. Hello?
Hi, somebody is calling me. I got a missed phone call from you.
Excellent. No, I appreciate you calling me back. I'm on the
Joseph?
so Joseph, you told me that he spoke with you already earlier today, right?
Joseph, right? Yeah.
Perfect. Good.
Yeah. Who are you? Are you the friend of Joseph?
Yeah, I'm his friend, but like I said, I'm on another call real quickly. I saw you call. I just want to let you know that you spoke with Joseph, so he's gonna get you all situated, okay?
And I haven't received any text message from you yet.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll send that over to you. But I'm on this other call. Let me take this other call, okay?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Text me your info.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
So a little bit unique that you got a close happening over here, and then you're going to answer another call. Again, Elijah's got a unique personality. I love him to death. But this is interesting to see. So now he's talking about some acreage in Owego. Let's see if this goes any further. If that's pretty much the close right there.
All right, sorry about that. All right. So can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So if I could get you to 30,000, you pay all the closing costs, we get both lots. Talking close the escrow August 16, 2023. When can you send me the pictures?
I can send to you now.
Okay, yeah. So send me the pictures. And so let me just get some clarity on. All right. So you said it's 3 levels. There's 5 bedrooms on each level.
All right, we don't need to hear him talking about all that. So pretty much, he's going to send the contract out and get it for the 30,000 there, with the seller covering the closing costs. So let's unpack this conversation. Listen, he's got a really good cadence. He understands what he's trying to accomplish. Really solid job, Elijah, on the questions. I love the subtle nuance, like on the price. Or on the after repair value, actually. The negotiating, he had a pretty strong posture throughout that. Ultimately speaking, he got the seller down $20,000, and he got him to his maximum allowable offer. So that's a win. Is Elijah a closer? Absolutely, Elijah is a closer. Does he do things the way that I teach? No, he doesn't. He has his own style. He's got a different personality, though. And I say this all the time. I think you should always play into who you are as a person. And I think that's one of Elijah's biggest strong suits, is that he knows who he is as a person. And he seems to enjoy talking to sellers. He seems to enjoy going through that process. I think it's one of the things that he loves about this business is doing acquisitions and talking to sellers and solving their problems and finding good deals. So I think there's a lot to learn from Elijah. So listen, that was a fun one to break down. Realistically, I couldn't really pause it that much because he was doing such a good job of navigating the conversation and sitting back and really making it more about the seller and less about Elijah Rubin, which that in and of itself means he's a great closer. So great job, Elijah. Keep up the good work, man. Keep putting out that content. I appreciate you. You guys, let me know what you think about Elijah's style in the comment. Make sure you like the video, and we'll see you guys next week on The King Closer Reacts.